Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Yes, you saw the title correct. Homelander vs Superman from Dcamu. This is a matchup where the copy is actually a challenge to the original. But enough with that, let's just get right into the topic and see who will actually win. Starting off with DC's animated movie Superman, or Dcamu Superman for short, should scale to the Superman from Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, who was able to hold the 1/5 of the explosion of the bombs that when combined were going to destroy 10 square blocks of Central City. Assuming the destruction is gonna happen in a radius, this will result in multi-city block levels of power which Superman holds in his hands like it's nothing, and I will say he will scale to the entire explosion. He's also capable of fighting Doomsday on equal footing, who withstood the kinetic energy of the entry point of Earth, which is calculated around multi-city blocks level. Then there is Weather Wizard, who was amped by magic and was able to tank an explosion that produced 3 kilotons of energy, which is town level, and Superman was able to tank hits from him. In the Justice League War, which is actually the first movie of this timeline, because the Flashpoint Paradox movie is actually what causes this new timeline to be made. Anyway, in the Justice League War, Superman fights relatively against Darkseid of this universe, who was able to destroy a fraction of the city, which is calculated to be around small city level. Now this was all just normal casual Superman, so I'd say a serious Superman will be twice as strong as this. There is a higher meta, but it's very iffy to use. Basically, Trigon, who somewhat destroyed the surface of Azorath, which I personally think is a planet, will make Trigon multi-continental. And Superman scales to Darkseid, who was able to fight this Trigon, meaning this will put Superman at multi-continental as well. But the issue with this is we don't know exactly how he destroyed Azorath. The only thing I saw Trigon do was use a blast type attack, which can just be considered an overtime feat. So this one is really iffy to use. Like, ultimately this is open for interpretation. It all depends on how you see the higher meta. Unfortunately, this is the best scaling I got for this Superman, so let's switch to speed. In terms of speed, Superman is comparable to the Flash, who can outspeed lightning casually, and was also able to outrun Darkseid's Omega Beam, which are at the very least twice as fast as lightning. Considering Shazam was able to react to them with his own lightnings but a little too late, and Flash needed to run at the top of his speed to outrun them, which Superman was also able to somewhat outrun them, which should put his speed in the massively hypersonic plus. Now, if you think they are light speed, then sure, this will make Superman relativistics plus, since he briefly evaded the Omega Beams, which at the end still tagged him, unlike Flash, who mind you stated that he never needed to take a breath before. Now, there are some higher metas like Lois Lane dodging Superman's laser, which, if we take them as light speed, will make Lois faster than light, and that will upscale everyone in that verse to faster than light plus to even massively faster than light, which is a huge stretch to use. In conclusion, Dcamu Superman is small city level with massively hypersonic speed, but if using the higher meta, then multi-continental with relativistics plus speed. Since Superman's strength has been laid out on the table, let's move on to Homelander and see if he can stand up to the original. Homelander was able to withstood the explosion of a power plant which is over 100 tons of TNT, making him multi-city block level. And this is further supported by the fact that Queen Marv can also tank multi-city block levels of explosion, but Homelander is stated to be the strongest in his Earth, which should upscale him. This will also mean he will upscale from Nubia, who can make a thunderstorm which generates over 100 kilotons of power, landing Homelander at large town level. But we can go even further, as Homelander is stated to be able to level a city, and also has been stated that every weapon on Earth has been used on Homelander and has failed, which would include a bomb like TSAR-8, which will make Homelander city level, which unfortunately is the highest scaling I have for Homelander. But there is a statement by the creator of Invincible, Robert Kirkman, who stated that he talked to Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, about this topic and said Homelander would be a challenge to early series Mark. If you don't know who Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are, just know they are the executive producers of the series. Now when taking this statement, I think he's referring to season 1 Mark because they later established that Blue Suit Mark will beat Homelander, who is from season 3. Season 1 Mark is capable of stopping a meteor that's calculated to small city level, and he also slammed Alan the alien into the moon, which is also calculated to city level. Now personally, I think this argument is fucking buns to use, but it does kinda make Homelander's city level somewhat consistent. As for speed, Homelander was able to outspeed a C4 explosion, which comes around at high hypersonic, and if we take Robert's word at face value, Homelander can be relativistic. Now there are light speed methods, but I don't wanna use them, as they are basically the same thing as Superman's multi-continental scaling, which in simple word is fucking stupid. So in conclusion, Homelander is large town level to city level with high hypersonic to relativistic speeds. So with that said, who will win? I think it's pretty safe to say if we use Superman's actual scaling, then he's not doing anything to Homelander, but in terms of speed will be faster than Homelander. But if we use those higher metas, then Homelander has absolutely nothing on Superman in both speed and strength. But again, that meta is really iffy to use, so we won't be using that. In conclusion, Homelander wins with high difficulty. Okay, let's be fucking real. Who are we fucking kidding? He is not city level, at best large town level, which Superman is casually, so it's not even fucking close. But yeah, Superman is fucking soloing his verse. Anyway, like and smash that subscribe button for more matchup like these, and once again, Happy New Year to all of you guys.